Yo guys, what's going on? This is Yorkie Man here, and we're back again for another episode of our Burnley career mode, manager mode, whatever you want to call it. But we have the big game at the Etihad Stadium against Manchester City, and nobody wants to play Manchester City when you're Burnley. Simply because, I mean, look at that stadium. That stadium is beautiful. But simply because they are such a strong side. I mean, if I could have one, maybe two of their players, I'd be happy. But look, they signed Higuain. So I was a bit like, oh shit. You know. That's not going to end well when they're signing players like that. It's going to be a tough ride. I mean, Danny Ings himself is just probably close to the level of Higuain right now. But nope. But no, we were. It was always going to be a tense game. But look at this. You don't need, when you're playing Man City, there's one thing you don't need, and that's that bullshit FIFA. And I'm pretty sure I put the replay in this. But look, just watch this. I mean, are you kidding? He kicks the ball long, kicks the ball into his own hand. I mean, do me a fucking favour, EA. Jesus. But anyway, the pressure did not let up. They were relentless. I'm telling you now. If there was ever a game where I was just defending like soldiers on the line, this is that game. 110%. This was tough as shit. It was fucking horrible. Hated it, man. But Arfield comes through here and crosses the ball, but we can't get anything on it. And to be fair, we didn't really do much in this game. There wasn't much to show you. I noticed that the big teams against Burnley tend to play weakened sides, but Man City's weakened side, as we know, is not weak. You know, it's not weak in the slightest. It's still tough enough to play against. So Danny Ings there going through. That should have probably been a goal. He had a good second half, did Ings. You know, he played really well. This again, probably should have pulled the trigger earlier. You know, Volk's got in the way, but we get a penalty for it. I don't know how we get a penalty for it. It wasn't a penalty. I'm going to say that. Most managers wouldn't come out and say that, would they? But this, no, just no. That's not a penalty, Jeff. But Ings steps up, and that was awful. Look at that. Awful. That's the first time I've been that awful. I'm not normally that awful at taking them, but they win, unfortunately, and we move on. We do, however, have the transfer period, man. I cannot wait for the transfer window. Not that we have any money, or that I could sign anyone, or that really this window is going to be all about trying to keep all the Danny Ings while people put in tons and tons of bids. Yeah, maybe. That is what this window is going to be about. And I started countering them at the start and just counted them for like ridiculous prices. And hey, if they gave me 15 million for Danny Ings, I'd sell him. You know, up front, being honest, I would. We start scouting some more regions, and we do all sorts of fancy jazz. But I think this is probably the time where you start picking up people on pre-contracts, don't you? But there's not much going for us. There's not much around. We cannot find. We cannot see. There's Jesus, guys. There's no. Who are we going to sign with? Like, we got like 1.5 million, and I put some players here up for transfer, and I probably should have sped this clip up now to mind. But yeah, we put some players up for free transfer and just get them off at wage budget. Hopefully someone would give us, I don't know, something like £1, £2, I don't know. I just looked at players that we certainly weren't going to be using that often, but we don't have a big squad yet. I really don't like this squad. Is that bad? That this is the team that I am, and I hate the squad? That's bad, isn't it? You know. But there's just a lot of players that I'm not going to use, and that are not any use, and that shouldn't be in a Premiership squad. We list a few guys, and hopefully just the stuff starts to slowly progress. If we survive, they give me like, I don't know, like 20 mil, and then we can change the squad around. I doubt it. I've got a feeling budget for next year is going to be like 10, maybe 10, I don't know. But we have our first game in the snow. I remember, like, this just reminded me of, like, the Christmas ads for Sky Sports. It's so cool. I used to love them. Below us, 16th with 20 points, fighting for our lives. And Newcastle are doing alright. Newcastle are having a pretty good season. They're happy, you know. They're like, yay, St James's Park is good. Well, you know, the last time we played them, they were, I think it was in the last episode, they absolutely destroyed us. It made my life hell, so I was determined in this one to be better. And Campbell, they're going through early on. And I'm telling you guys, sign Joel Campbell. Man, he's cheap. He's cheap. He's not got long left on his contract. Arsenal don't want him. Sign him. But it's half-time anyway, guys. And basically, in the snow, games are boring. Games are pretty boring in the snow this year. I think they were last year, but they're even more boring this year. But it was a real slow game in the snow. But there we go again. We are cursed against Newcastle United. This has to be. I just play awful against them. We make some substitutions here, and bringing Danny Ings off means that you're desperate because he's our top goal scorer. He's the only player that tends to be worth a damn up front. Really does. I mean, and when you're bringing on Ashley Barnes, you know, a guy that I'm trying to push out of the club, you know, it's difficult. But Jukovic has a chance there. De Jong comes through again there and goes very, very close. But it looked like this episode was destined for defeats. We were destined to not have a good time as that goal goes in there from Riviere. And it's 90 minutes and it's 2-0 and we have lost, and it's not a good time right now if you are a Burnley fan or if you are the Burnley manager, but we're doing what we can to survive, and that's what matters. That's what this save is all about in this first year. Survival of the fittest. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I would like you guys to leave a comment to let me know how you are finding the series, and also just leave a comment and say, do you want some music behind this, like some unlicensed music or whatever, you know, royalty-free music. But look at this, we find some cool youngsters to go into our youth squad, which we need, and I'm thinking about doing the future star again, possibly. But anyway, guys, thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.